Black pines. Now there's a tree. The Japanese revere them, and who are we to argue? Stately, imposing, they lend a touch of the Oriental to any garden. But they can be expensive to buy. Well, I'm here to tell you that there's a way around that. You can grow them yourself from seed, and, with a bit of patience, end up with a tree every bit as good as anything you can buy. It's a long process, but deeply satisfying. Over these next few chapters, I'm going to take you through the whole thing, step by step. It's easier than you think, and I promise it will give you a real sense of achievement. We'll cover everything from collecting the seeds to planting out your trees. So if you've got a sunny spot and a yen for a touch of Japanese elegance, come along with me and let's get started. The first step on our journey takes us out into the open, into the natural world, to gather our seeds. Late summer to early autumn is the time to look, when the cones on the black pines are brown and feel dry to the touch, but crucially, before they open and scatter their seeds to the wind. Now, we're not after just any old cones. We want cones from healthy, strong trees that look like they've weathered a few storms and come out the better for it. Those trees have got the genes we want to pass on. Once you've found a tree that fits the bill, it's time to get up close and personal. Give the branches a gentle shake and keep your eyes peeled for any cones that decide to let go. Those are the ones we're after. Don't be greedy. The tree needs some of those seeds to continue its own story. Just take what you need and leave the rest for nature to do its work. Back in the potting shed now, and our cones are laid out on a tray. We need to give them a bit of time to finish drying out. A warm, dry place is what we're after. An airing cupboard is ideal, or a sunny windowsill will do the job nicely. You'll know they're ready when the cones start to open up, revealing the seeds nestled inside. This is always a bit of a thrill, seeing those little promises of life tucked away in there. Once the cones are open, it's a simple matter of extracting the seeds. A gentle tap on the cone is usually all it takes to persuade them to part company. You'll probably find some little winged bits and pieces in there too. Don't worry about those, they're just there to help the seeds fly in the wind. Give the seeds a bit of a cleanup, removing any debris or stubborn wings, and we're ready for the next stage. Now here's a little trick that nature uses to give our black pine seeds the best possible start in life. It's called stratification, and it's basically a way of fooling the seeds into thinking they've been through a winter. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. First, we need to give our seeds a good soak. Pop them in a bowl of water and leave them to have a good long drink for about 24 hours. This softens the seed coat and gets them ready for the next step. Next, we need to create a nice cozy bed for our seeds. A plastic bag with some moist vermiculite or sand will do the trick. Don't use compost at this stage, it's a bit too rich for what we need. Once our seeds are tucked up in their moist bedding, we're going to pop them in the fridge. That's right, the fridge. This is where the magic happens. The cold temperatures simulate winter, and this triggers something in the seeds that tells them it's time to start growing. We'll leave them in their cold, dark slumber for about 30 to 60 days. It's a bit like tucking them in for a long winter's nap. Spring is in the air. Well, almost. It's late winter, and time to coax our little black pine seeds out of their slumber and into the world. First, we need to prepare their nursery. A seed tray or some small pots will do nicely. Fill them with a good quality seed starting mix. This is important as it provides the perfect balance of nutrients and drainage that our delicate seedlings need. Now, for the grand unveiling. Carefully retrieve our bag of seeds from the fridge and take a peek inside. If all has gone well, you should see some tiny white roots starting to emerge from the seeds. This is a good sign. It means our stratification has worked its magic. Gently sow the seeds about 1/4 of an inch deep and 1 inch apart. We don't want to overcrowd them. Give them a gentle watering with a fine rose to settle them in, and then cover the tray or pots with a propagator lid or some cling film to create a humid environment. Place them in a warm, bright spot but out of direct sunlight. We don't want to scorch our little charges. Now comes the really exciting part, watching for the first signs of life. Keep a close eye on your seed tray or pots. We're looking for a subtle change in the surface of the compost, a sign that something is pushing its way up from below. And then, one day, it happens. A tiny green shoot emerges, reaching for the light. This is a moment to savor, the miracle of life unfolding before your very eyes. Over the next few days and weeks, more and more shoots will appear. Keep the compost moist, but not waterlogged. A good way to do this is to water from the bottom, allowing the compost to soak up the moisture. Once the seedlings have developed their first set of true leaves, you can start to acclimatize them to the outside world. This is called hardening off, and it's important to do it gradually so as not to shock the seedlings. Our black pine seedlings are now well and truly on their way. They've graduated from their nursery and it's time to give them a bit more space to grow. Choose a sunny spot in the garden, one that's sheltered from strong winds. Prepare the ground well, digging in plenty of organic matter. Black pines like a well-drained soil, so if your soil is heavy clay, you might want to add some grit or sand to improve drainage. Plant the seedlings about a foot apart, taking care not to damage their delicate roots. Water them in well and then mulch around the base of the plants with a layer of bark chippings or compost. This will help to retain moisture and suppress weeds. Keep a watchful eye on your young charges, watering them regularly, especially during dry spells. As they grow, you can start to shape them by pinching out the tips of any wayward shoots. This will encourage them to bush out and develop a strong framework. Our black pines have now been growing on in their sheltered spot for a year or two, and they're starting to look a bit cramped. It's time to find them their forever homes. Choose a sunny site with well-drained soil. Black pines are tolerant of a wide range of conditions, but they won't thrive in waterlogged soil. If your soil is heavy clay, it's a good idea to build a raised bed to improve drainage. Dig a hole that's twice the width of the root ball and just as deep. Gently remove the tree from its pot and tease out any circling roots. Place the tree in the hole, making sure that the top of the root ball is level with the surrounding soil. Backfill the hole with soil, firming it in gently as you go. Water the tree well, and then mulch around the base with a layer of bark chippings or compost. This will help to retain moisture and suppress weeds. Stake the tree if necessary, especially if you live in an exposed site. Use a soft tie to attach the tree to the stake, allowing for some movement. This will help the tree to develop a strong root system. And there you have it. From tiny seeds to sturdy saplings, we've journeyed together through the seasons, nurturing these little emblems of resilience and strength. Remember, it all starts with a cone, a bit of patience, and a whole lot of love. Give it a go, collect those seeds, nurture them with care, and watch them grow. Share your successes, and even your failures, because even those are valuable lessons learned. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe for more gardening adventures, and until next time, happy gardening.